What a game, guys. What a freaking game. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday. To top it off with a huge victory, or should I say to start it off with a huge victory, the Green Bay Packers beating the Detroit Lions and now sweeping them here in 2025, beating them 31-24 here in week 13 on Thanksgiving. And Jordan Love may just be the greatest Thanksgiving quarterback of all time. And you guys know I had to rep the 13. I had to do it because Dontavian Wicks probably had his best game in his NFL career. And what a game for him to have it, because he went off in this game. We have so much to talk about on this defense, on this offense, and I'm so happy we got this win because we've kind of been waiting for this identity building game for the Packers. You know, we started off the season so strong against the Lions, against the, at the time, good Commanders, right? Then it was kind of a lull period, some weird losses, a tie, a decent game against Pittsburgh, but they're not a real consistent team. And I was kind of wondering how the stretch of these three divisional games are going to go. And the Packers, in my eyes, are going to go 3-0. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Lions. Now we head back to Green Bay to take on the Bears. And I think they're going to end up 3-0 in this divisional stretch. And that will then catapult them to take the NFC North, which at this rate right now is just between them and the Bears. Of course, some other things can happen, but with how the Packers handled the Detroit Lions twice this season, man, I'm so ecstatic about how this team played in this game because it kind of felt like the tides were turning a little bit. Last year, the Lions win both games. Every game, they're punching us in the mouth. They're going for it on every fourth down. They're getting it on every fourth down. Finally, here in 2025, in both games, in week one and on this one in Thanksgiving, the Green Bay Packers punched back, sweep the Lions. It feels so good. Let's dive into it. Guys, the NFL season is in full swing, and if you're looking for affordable Green Bay Packers tickets, look no further than today's video sponsor, SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Watching a Packers game is always fun, but nothing beats actually going to one, especially when you can find a really good deal on tickets. What I love about SeatGeek the most is it puts its tickets on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, 1 being bad value. So when you're looking for your tickets, look for the green dots. Obviously, the higher the number, the better the value. Plus, every ticket on SeatGeek is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, I have a code for you guys to use. Use code Basaraski10 to get 10% off your first order of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets on SeatGeek with code Basaraski10. You can simply click the link down in the description below and have the code automatically added to your account. So the next time you look for tickets, you will get that 10% off. So go check out SeatGeek, look into some future Packers games, but also some concerts and events as well. Again, a big shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. All right, so now back into the video. Let's start off on offense with our main man, Mr. Jordan Toyotathon, Mr. Thanksgiving, Jordan Love, who finished the day 18 of 30, 234 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, not a single sack, and we'll talk about the O-line, and a 124.2 quarterback rating. Jordan Love out there, man, was throwing absolute lasers. There were some times where he missed a couple throws, but when it mattered, man, he was putting that thing on the money, and he was putting heat on those things. I mean, Jordan Love on Thanksgiving, not let alone in Toyotathon, all jokes aside, man, he plays some really, really good football when it comes down to it in November, December, when he gets into the groove of things. And here's the thing. Jordan Love's playing with a separated left shoulder, and you can't even tell. Like, this guy's out there slinging it. He's a great team leader. You know, guys are behind him. They believe in him. And finally, it felt like Matt LaFleur in this game was like, hey, I believe in Jordan Love, because that's been an issue for a lot of fans. Or like, they feel Matt LaFleur in the biggest moments, for some reason, didn't really believe in Jordan Love. Like, we know he does, but in certain moments, you're like, why are we running here? Why are we not going for it? Yet in the biggest moments in this game, 2 fourth downs, 2 fourth and goals, the Packers go for it and put the ball in Jordan Love's hand, and both times result in a touchdown. And then to end the game, 4th and 3. You could punt it away and trust your defense, who, let up a lot of points in this game, 24, but overall has made plays. But no, you keep it in Jordan Love's hand. He makes a play, and they end the game. So I love to see that from Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love alike. Finally, it just really felt like, hey, our quarterback is good, and he's going to beat you, and you can't stop it. That's how it really felt, so it was great to see. Josh Jacobs returned in this game, had 17 carries, 83 yards, 4.9 average. Really nice average for him. He tends to get lower averages this season due to getting contacted at the line of scrimmage, but hey, it wasn't like that in this game. Anthony Belton got a full-time start at right guard and played every single snap, and honestly, I think they found something in him. After watching these last 2 weeks, you guys know the whole offseason, I just pretty much was saying, hey, Anthony Belton, in my eyes, is a guard. Yeah, he came into the league as a tackle at NC State. A lot of tackles, a lot of college teams play their best linemen at tackle. It makes sense, right? But when you get into the league, tackle's a lot harder, right? But I think Belton is a guard. And I think going forward in 2026, honestly, just the rest of the season, he should just stick at right guard. He's looked really good there. Our run game looks a lot better. And that also includes Aaron Banks playing better and Sean Ryan really sticking it out at center. I've been impressed. There's been some inconsistencies for sure. But honestly, I hate to say it, but it looks better than it did with Elton Jenkins at center. Maybe it's just because the other guys are playing well or playing better as well. That helps. Obviously, when the guys around you are playing better, you're going to play better. Overall, I've loved the step up this offensive line has taken to not allow Jordan Love to touch the ground and to run the ball way more consistently. You ran the ball 30 times, 125 yards, 4.2 average. Bo Melton had 2 carries for 15 yards. Emmanuel Wilson, 4 for 14. Didn't have to use him too much. But what I liked about this game is it wasn't just, okay, we need to 100% just pass the ball, and we're a passing team, and that's how we're going to beat the Lions because they're running a lot of heavy box, cover one, man coverage, which they did, and we beat. But they still ran the football efficiently, and they still ran the ball to open up other things. And, that's a huge thing for your offense. So it was great to get Josh Jacobs back. He was running hard, early in this game, breaking off some big runs. He had a long of 29 in this game, probably his longest on the year, if I'm not mistaken. Then let's move to our wide receivers. And I already talked about it. Shout out Tay Wicks. You guys know how supportive and how confident I am in Tay Wicks on this channel. And he needed a game like this. It's been an unfortunate down year in 2025 where he simply hasn't been able to stay healthy. And even when he's on the field, just not getting much opportunity. But with Matthew Golden being out of this game, with Savion Williams being out of this game, Tucker Kraft's already out of this offense, someone had to step up. And in this game, it was Dontavian Wicks who finished the game, 6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns, and, include that 4th and goal touchdown, the 4th and 3 game ender. And I'll quickly comment on that 4th and goal touchdown because I see that narrative going around that, Lions fans are mad and it wasn't a catch. I mean, it's so obviously a catch. His right foot was down the moment he gets possession, and then the left foot comes down. If Lions fans, if you're watching this, that's the NFL rule. You have possession, and total 2 feet go down, right foot, left foot. It's pretty straightforward. They called even up to New York, their rules analyst that's on the broadcast, they all confirmed it. It was a catch. Whether you like it or not, it was a catch. And if it was the flip and it was St. Brown with that situation, you would be sitting on here saying it's a catch. The only reason you believe it's not is because it was against your Detroit Lions. So I'm glad the NFL got that one right. Obviously, there were some iffy calls around this game on both teams. The illegal contact on Nixon, the no call PI on Watson, and then, of course, the weird timeout thing with Matt LaFleur. Like, the refs weren't consistent in this game, but it wasn't just, oh, they always favor the Green Bay Packers like Lions fans want you to believe. That was not the case at all. It happened for both teams. Other receivers in this game, of course, Christian Watson continues to impress and make splash plays. He had 4 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Beat that bum Meek Robertson on that out and up, and he posted on his story today saying it was a push off, and these weak receivers continue to cry every time they get touched, but they push off. That's such a lame excuse, man. Take it under the chin because you got cooked on that play. You got cooked most of this game, and Christian Watson's going to beat a lot of cornerbacks when you're in cover one man with no safety help on your side. He's going to beat you. And that's the main thing I was talking about in the game preview. It's like, hey, the Lions play the most cover one. That's the defense they like to play. Single high, man coverage across the board, load up the box, try to pressure the quarterback and say, hey, we're going to cover you longer than you have to throw. Now, when you have good protection, like we did yesterday, Jordan Love not going on the ground once, and you have a guy like Christian Watson with 4.3 speed, that's a recipe for success if you're an offense against cover one. So I'm glad the Packers did take that shot to Watson there in the second half, and man, he got cooked. So great to see Watson just absolutely balling out so far in the return from his ACL. Dare I say he looks better? It's crazy to say. Luke Musgrave was our third receiver. It was really Wicks and Watson, and that's about it. You know, Musgrave had 23 yards, finally caught a big catch in this game. It was a corner route out of, I think, 12 personnel. It really made really nice diving catch on the right side. Romeo Doubs, 4 catches for 20 yards and a touchdown. So still got a touchdown there. A lot of short catches for Romeo Doubs. Didn't drop a ball. I don't think we had a drop all day, which is great. Chris Brooks, 2 catches for 9 yards. He outsnapped Emmanuel Wilson. Just signal, and Luke Musgrave actually outsnapped all the tight ends too, really signaling that this was going to be more of a pass-heavy game, you know, more of a receiving threat in Musgrave. Brooks outsnaps Wilson, more of a pass protector than a runner there, so that's great to see. Bo Melton filled in on offense nicely, you know, got a couple carries. Should have had a touchdown on that first drive, if we're being honest. Love just missed him. But nice to see Bo Melton just able to fill right back in, you know, with 2 receivers being out. We need someone like him to fill in, and he did, and it was great to see. Outside of that, you know, the only other receiver was Josh Jacobs with 1 catch for 8 yards. The Packers didn't spread the ball around too much. It was just Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson, with a little bit of Romeo Doubs show there on Thanksgiving. A couple other things I want to talk about before we talk about the defense is huge game from Matt LaFleur, man. When you're watching some of the things we were scheming up around the goal line, all those switch releases where you'd start with a motion and say, hey, okay, now we see the Lions are in man near goal line, which is common, right? Now we're going to have a bunch on the left side or the right side, whatever it may be, and we're going to have a couple switch releases to where these corners have to process that post-snap and go, hey, we need to switch now. Now you kind of lose that leverage battle, and now you have an outbreaking route from the inside with the leverage working against them, and they get open for a touchdown. You saw it on the Dobbs. You saw it on the Wicks touchdown, Wicks' second touchdown. I love all the route concepts. I love Matt LaFleur scheming that up against man coverage on the goal line. We've been kind of missing that sort of thing where it's kind of just like, okay, we've been running the ball with Jacobs, and he's been getting in, so that's great. But the Lions sell out against the run, especially near the goal line. You might get stopped, or you probably would get stopped. So I like Matt LaFleur kind of transitioning into that, and it working really well. Another thing I really liked is the timing out routes in this game. When the Packers needed it, it was pretty much like, hey, we're going to protect well. We're going to take a 3-step drop. You're in man coverage. We believe our receivers, Watson, Wicks, whatever it may be, are going to get to the sticks, run a crisp route, break down, get to the outside, and we're going to have a timing route. An out route, which we did multiple times, mainly Watson. So I love to see that as well. Sometimes you just keep it simple. And overall, the Packers offense has played very, very clean football. Now, there was a fumble. It was a Jordan Love fumble that, shout out Rasheed Walker, man. That was a hell of an athletic play. Love hit Dobbs on that quick slant near the goal line, and it looked like Dobbs maybe would have gotten to the end zone, or at least gotten to the 1-yard line, would have been a first down. That thing got punched out after he took 2 steps. It was possession. And Rasheed Walker just, you know, the awareness and the wherewithal, just be in the right place, right time, and snagged that thing right before Alex Anzalone got on it. Huge play by Rasheed Walker. But overall, the Packers played really, really clean football. And man, Jordan Love, everyone at the beginning of the season, after he throws like 1 or 2 bad interceptions, oh, he can't protect the football, and he'll always throw interceptions, continues to be the least interception throwing quarterback in the NFC North. That's 4 straight games without an interception for Jordan Love, and he only has 3 on the year. I mean, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions is so massive for Jordan Love. A 104.3 quarterback rating. That would be his best of his 3 starting seasons if he ends with this. The first 2 years, he's hovering around a 96 quarterback rating. He's having his best season as a pro. He is. He's playing really sound football. He's protecting the football. He's accurate. He's methodical. He's leading the team better than ever. I just really loved what I've seen from Jordan Love here in year 3. Guys, if you want to make your picks for the upcoming game tonight, Eagles versus Bears, definitely go check out Sleeper. Link down in the description below. If you make a first-time deposit using my custom code BASS, B-A-S, you'll get that matched 100%. Up to $100. So if you were to deposit $50, you then have $100 in your account. And they're also running an awesome promo right now that new users that sign up get a free $20 play, no deposit needed. So you can go click the link down in the description, check out Sleeper, get a free $20 play. Don't have to deposit any of your own money, and make your picks for tonight's game, maybe some of the games on Sunday, or both together. Definitely go check out Sleeper. You can make your picks. It's not only just a great fantasy football app, but also just a great sports app overall. Massive shout out to Sleeper for being this year's channel sponsor. All right, so now let's talk about this defense. And on paper and looking at the box score, you might go, Jared Goff, 20 of 26, right? 256, 2 touchdowns, 132.9 quarterback rating. He was super efficient. When you watch this game, I didn't really see that. To me, Jared Goff was seeing ghosts back there. He missed multiple throws. Even the drop for Jamison Williams on 4th down. Yeah, it should have caught it. Your receiver, it hits you in the hands. But like Jared Goff did him no favors there. He missed multiple throws. And to be fair, you're without Laporta. St. Brown checks out early, right? They had a ton of injuries. So do we. Every team in the NFL has injuries, so I don't want to hear that excuse either. But it is tough. You know, we know it better than ever. You know, you lose your top target, and your offense changes. And to lose it in a game, that's tough, right? So losing St. Brown early definitely hurt them. And maybe this game's different if they have St. Brown that entire game, because we know how good he is. But to me, it wasn't Jared Goff was super efficient. Jared Goff was scared back there, in my opinion. I mean, why wouldn't you be when you have someone like Micah Parsons, who's quite literally unblockable? And he's screaming down your face every single time. And shout out Micah Parsons, the only player in NFL history to have 12-plus sacks in his first 5 NFL seasons. Absolutely insane. The fact that a 26-year-old was traded to us, that is a future Hall of Famer, a superstar, a game changer for 2 first rounds in Kenny Clark is still asinine. And the fact that Jerry Jones did that is absolutely crazy, right? The fact that it's still crazy. We have Micah Parsons on this defense, and it's already been worth it. Like what he does for this defense and the impact he has, game-changing ability that he has. It's absurd. And I think he played something like 94% of snaps in this game. So not only is he great when he's on the field, the dude doesn't come off the field. Like, it's insane. The conditioning there is crazy. I would bet a lot of pass rushers don't play anywhere near 94%. We know Rashawn Gary doesn't, but even around the league, some of the best, right? Like Myles Garrett, I would be surprised if he was even touching 90%. I would have to look, but that's insane for an edge rusher to play that many snaps and still play at that high of a level the entire game. It's crazy. One thing I noticed early in this game, the Packers started to use a lot more pressure packages. We've kind of just seen this year them just living by 4-man rush. We're going to get home from time to time. And that's fine. I think as the year goes on, as we get closer to playoffs, Hafley's starting to like tinker around with a couple things, a little bit more pressure packages. And we saw early in this game, then it kind of stopped, and then we stopped getting pressure in the 3rd quarter. Then we came back and kind of got more pressure in the 4th quarter. But I love seeing that. You start to see it. And I feel like Hafley definitely is holding back until when it really, really matters, like end of the season for the division or the first playoff game or something of that sort. Like he's going to start cooking with these pressure packages. I could tell. I can really tell that's going to happen. Some other players that were extremely impressive in this game, Isaiah McDuffie continues to fill in. Quay Walker out yet again. Didn't expect him to be out, 2 games here, but it makes sense. It's a short week. And McDuffie fills in at the mic yet again. He's been excellent against the run. Now, he has had some issues in coverage, right? They had a lot of hook curl opportunities where McDuffie was just playing too deep. He had too far depth in his zone. Came up, made a nice tackle every time. But it's like, okay, you don't really need to be that deep when they're just running hook curl, and you go up and match that, right? So coverage has been a little bit of an issue for McDuffie, but I'll take it, man. Filling in and playing so well against the run. The Lions love to run, outside runs, gap zone, whatever it may be. That's what they love. And that's what the Packers are really good at stopping. Their linebackers flow sideline to sideline really quickly. A lot of their edges contain very well. Parsons and Igbare didn't see great contain from Gary in this game, but most of their edges do. And the Packers shut that down. I mean, to hold Gibbs 20 carries, 68 yards, that's a huge win. 3.4 average after what we just saw happen to the Giants. I mean, that's huge because we know this Packers run defense is suspect. Teams have ran on us handily. Rico Dowdle and the Panthers easily, right? So the Packers really focused in here on, hey, we need to stop the running attack. And this is the Lions' first loss with over 100 rushing yards as a team. So that's also massive as well. They had 30 carries for 119 yards, but only a 4.0 average. Even holding David Montgomery to 32 yards. He was the guy I was more scared of. As scary as Gibbs is, Montgomery usually is the guy against us. Like, they just hand it off to him up the middle, and he gets contacted 1 yard, but he brings that into 4 to 5 yards every single time. So the Packers played tough, they played physical, and like I said earlier, they punched them back in the mouth. Montgomery finished 8 for 32, 4.0 average. Jared Goff did have a rush, and that inflated their carries there. So they really didn't have 100 yards with running backs. So that's, take that as you will. Goff got them over 100 with that 24-yard carry. So yeah, the Packers were flowing. Any outside run they wanted, whether it was an end around or something like that, the one to Jameson, absolutely blown up. The Packers were flying around. They were swarming and they were wrapping up. They were playing super fast and super physical. Another player that just at this rate is a top 5 safety in the league, it's Evan Williams. I mean, this guy has been playing at an extremely high level. And I don't know if you could name, 5 other safeties in the league that are playing better ball than him right now. Obviously it helps to have Xavier McKinney next to you, but Evan Williams is making a name for himself, becoming one of the better safeties in the league. And, it's not even a worry right now for the Packers. Who we have back there at safety, I'm comfortable if you're in single high, we're in 2 high with either player at either position, because both are such great safeties in this league. And Evan Williams, man, just continues to fly around out there. Was second in the team in tackles with 9. McDuffie led with 12 and 2 for loss, which is great to see. Some other leaders, Parsons had 8 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. Cooper had 8 tackles. Nixon had 7 tackles. Again, the Packers were tackling very well outside of the Valentine missed tackle where Jameson went on that screen for a touchdown. But I'll take it, right? Like you'll have a couple missed tackles in a game, and luckily that didn't come back to, bite the Packers into a loss or something like that, but got to wrap up there. To wrap things up, some other notes on defense. The Lions did score 24 points, and that's without St. Brown. That's without Laporta. We got Tom Kennedy cooking us from time to time. He was a second leading receiver at 36 yards. Jameson Williams, 7 for 144. The reason that happened was the Packers stuck in man way too much. When you're in man coverage against someone like Jameson Williams, who's an absolute speedster, if you get any bit of protection and he's running a deep crosser route, you're going to get beat. And that's happened multiple times. I wish the Packers got out of man quicker than they did because it simply wasn't working against what the Lions were doing. I like the Packers running man. I really do, especially against a quarterback that really can't run. And you just want to be physical at the point of attack and pressure the quarterback. Try to say, hey, we're going to get there quicker. Then your quarterback's going to have to throw to these guys getting open potentially. Kind of how the Lions play it, right? But it didn't work, and at least the Packers kind of got off of it there. But Jameson Williams had a big day for them, but when it mattered most, he had a drop on 4th and 3, so that was crucial for them. Some other things to wrap this up. I thought it was a solid performance by this special teams unit, finally, like a pretty solid all-around one. Did have a penalty on the opening kickoff return. I'm like, man, what does Rich Basaraski even do? But it wasn't terrible. Like, there wasn't anything crazy mistakes or anything like that. McManus hit his only kick attempt, 45 yards, and Daniel Whelan just continues to be he's the best punter in the league. He is. I know I'm a Packers fan, and I know we're biased, but when you watch it, like, this guy is the best punter in the league. He had a long of 72 in this game. That is ridiculous. Like, he's going to get drug tested. He has to. It's insane, like, what he's doing out there. Shout out Danny Whelan. If he's not all pro, I'm going to riot. Overall, man, just super, super proud of this team and how they handled themselves in this game. Like I said, the tides were kind of changing after last season. And it's not that I was, like, worried about the Lions consistently, but, you do worry about their physicality, how they handle themselves, and the Packers are kind of the one to get punched in the mouth and not really hit back. That definitely changed. Especially in this game. And I think it was a hell of a coached game by Matt LaFleur. And like I said earlier, it's an identity-building game, and the Packers needed this. As in the toughest stretch of their season, 3 straight divisional games. Then you take on the Broncos, then yet another divisional game in Chicago. So this is a crazy stretch for the Packers. And in the first 3 games of that stretch, all divisional, if they can end up 3-0, I feel very confident in this Packers team taking the NFC North. Then we'll worry about seeding down the line. But we got Chicago next week, and they still have a game to play today against the Eagles at 3. I don't know why they came to 3. Like, put it at 5 or 6 or something. But as nasty as this is to say, go Eagles, go Birds. I mean, we can handle business. We have 2 games against the Bears, so it really doesn't matter. But, hey, you always want your divisional rivals to lose, right? But then again, maybe if the Packers handle their own business, maybe you want the Eagles to lose for seeding purposes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm rooting against the Bears. Nonetheless, that's what I'm doing. But I really appreciate you guys coming by to the video. We do post-game videos after every game. So if you're stopping by and you just found this channel and you enjoyed the video, definitely consider going down and clicking that subscribe button. Leaving a like on the way out helps support the channel a ton. But I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.